Hey guys, I am so sorry I'm late. The UFC, they had me doing a whole media tour like right before I got here. I was doing interviews, so I'm just trying to sell this fight and do my job, and it kind of overlapped. So I am here, and it's good to see your beautiful Texan faces. All right.
How are you holding up to the media grind? Because I feel like I saw you on TV like 14 hours ago, and here you are still going strong.
Yeah, John, it's been a long day for sure. It's been a long day, but dude, my job is to do what the UFC asked me. So I've been trying to do my best and do as much media as possible, and I'm still working.
You are still working. Well, we're going to get you out of here.
2 workouts tonight, so yeah.
A couple workouts tonight. All right, we got a few fan questions from Twitter, and then we'll get back to the media questions, and time permitting, some love for the fans on the way out. This one from Elliot_John Jones. He's got your name in his handle, so he's a big fan.
All right.
Wants to know, and you've been asked this a lot this week, what is next for you after this? Ultimately, what are you looking to do over the next year?
Hey, so real quick, I got booed a little bit when I walked out here, right? So if you are here to support me, I got some gifts, so I want everybody to support me to kind of make it over this way, okay? Walk right on over this way if you're here to support me. I got some really great gifts. Oh, there we go. Look at that. All right, smart guys. All right. There we go. All right. Get over there.
Yeah, he's got to get over with that T-shirt.
With that T-shirt, you might want to be on this side. All right. Now look at that army over there. I appreciate you guys so much. Woo! Let's go.
Got the whole team aligned now.
Oh yeah, that looks about right. All right.
In terms of the heavyweight division, and obviously one of your fans, that's what he's sort of alluding to. You talked about it on ESPN this morning, that it stands to reason it might be easier for you in some respects when you do move up. But how soon could that realistically happen in your mind?
You know, at the end of the day, I feel like if it's not broke, don't fix it. And so much has been going right in the light heavyweight division. I feel like there's always going to be great competition as long as guys are dreaming and aspiring to achieve great things, and it's going to be my job to stay where I'm at and to be a dream killer in a way. I got a lot of more years at the light heavyweight division, but I'm also excited to challenge myself. I know at the end of the day, it's about the fans. It's about giving the fans what they want. And unlike boxing sometimes, you guys like that? Unlike boxing sometimes they hold off great fights, like, you know, Mayweather and Pacquiao. That fight waited too long, right? You know, so I want to be a part of giving the fans what they want when they want it. And so if you guys are desiring me to go to the heavyweight division, then I think the UFC is going to fill that demand, and we're going to make it happen.
15th consecutive championship fight for John Jones here Saturday night, by the way. Next one here from Barnesy. For Johnny Bones, how do you plan on taking away Reyes' counter game?
You know, by not really giving him what he wants. You know, at the end of the day, the guys who get knocked out by Dominic, they're usually caught lunging in, right? And they're usually lunging in with boxing. And if you watch my fights, I'm not one to use my hands too much. You know, I jab when the time is necessary, but I'm more of a kicker. And I haven't really seen him deal with a kicker like me. So, you know, I know how guys are getting caught. He slips really well, and he fires back with lefts really well. And I'm not going to give him what he wants. Yeah.
All right, let us now open it up.
You might want to get on this side over there.
Yeah, we need Team Johns
There's
to make
more room. All right. I'm going to give you guys some love. Don't worry about it.
By the way, we should acknowledge.
But most of the love's going to be on that side, just so you know. I might just even turn my chair like this over here.
We should acknowledge all of you Houston folks who have come far and wide, many of whom were outside, yes, at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Wow,
so that is not lost on us. We appreciate it.
I love you guys, really I do. Even the haters, I love you guys too, very, very much.
Got a 245 over there. All right, let's get some questions here from the media. Mark Raimondi, fire away, kid.
Thanks, John. Back to Derrick. Sorry, we got interrupted earlier. I was actually curious. John's talking about going up to heavyweight a lot. Obviously, you fight at heavyweight. How do you think he would do?
You troublemaker.
No, not at all. Not at all.
What's the question again?
How do you think John Jones would do at heavyweight?
I think he'll do good. You know, the division is wide open. It's a lot of easy fights out there for him. And it's going to be entertaining to watch.
And then for John, Valentina was asked about you on the conference call yesterday. It was very complimentary. So I was curious, what do you think about Valentina? You know, what she's done, her style. What are your opinions on her fighting?
I'm a huge fan of Valentina. You know, she's a woman that supports the Second Amendment, and I know you guys, you Texans, you love the Second Amendment, right? It doesn't get much more badass than that, right? I mean, everything about her, you know, the way that she's sharing her culture with America, with the traditional dancing, her work ethic. I mean, she beat one of my dearest friends, Holly, and I know that's not an easy task. She's a tremendous champion. I got to take a picture with her earlier, and I was truly honored. So I have nothing but high praise for Valentina.
And then one more thing for me. Dominic Reyes was up here earlier, of course, and he was asked about your boxing, and he said that he feels like that's something that he could exploit, he can capitalize. He thinks that he's a better boxer than you. Your thoughts on that?
Have you seen his mitt work? No? He has a tremendous left hand. I'm sure he's going to work hard on his right hand, especially because I've brought it up so much. But my job is not to go out there and get in a boxing match. You know, shout out to my boxing coach, Aaron Seriano, my other boxing coach, Brandon Gibson, my kickboxing coach, Mike Winklejohn, and my new Muay Thai coach, Alex, over there. And you guys can clap for Alex too. I know you guys don't know him. He's the funny guy with the mustache. Alex, stand up, the funny looking fella. There he is. But my job is not to go out there and get in a boxing match. My job is to be the better mixed martial arts fighter. Like I said, I'm very aware that his best counters come in boxing combinations, and I'm not going to give him what he wants. You know what I mean? It's going to be a mixed martial arts fight.
All right, John over here.
Go ahead, KJ.
What's up, man?
How much do you think your experience being on this stage 15 times in a row since you were 21, how much do you think that's going to be played on Saturday when Dominic gets in those deep waters, where it's like another day at the office for you?
Yeah, well, you know, there's a part of it that feels like another day in the office, but at the end of the day, every fight's brand new, and everyone has a puncher's chance, you know what I mean? Anything can happen out there, and I'm very aware of that. My job is to make his chances extremely slim through hard work, faith, focus, surrounding myself with the right people. But yeah, experience, it's a factor for a reason, you know? You know, he wants to make age a part of this conversation. He wants to make race a part of this conversation, and it's not about any of that. It's about you know, work ethic and who earned being here. And I feel like there's nothing coincidental or lucky about being a champion of an organization for over a decade. It's all based on hard work. So my experience will definitely play a huge factor in this fight. I don't think he's ever been 5 rounds before, and I've seen 3-round fights where he starts to slow down. So, and that's not going to work with me. Everyone knows that I pick it up. Every round I get with you, I pick it up. I mean, I feel like after the 3-minute mark, you know, his chances of getting knockouts dramatically decreases. He's well studied, and we've taken him very seriously. And I think one thing that makes our team so strong is our ability to study our opponents, and experience is going to play a big factor. You guys will see.
Do you think you need that belt at heavyweight to be the unquestioned GOAT, since it's always this conversation, back and forth, barbershop talk? But if you get that second belt at heavyweight, regardless of who the champion is, will that make you the unquestioned GOAT of MMA?
I mean, that will be you guys' opinion. What do you guys think? You know, at the end of the day, you know, to be considered the best, DC, stop. Who said that? Someone slap yourself. Who said that? Hey, I think it's always going to be an opinion. You know what I mean? I just got to continue to strive to be in that conversation. When you think about the greatest fighter of all time, it's a lot of different things that go into it. It can be skill set. It can be the way they carry themselves. It can be, you know, Conor McGregor, the way what a great businessman he is, and what a good guy for the sport. You know, it can be, you know, the way you give back to humanity. There's so many things that makes you great, and so as long as I'm always in the conversation, I'm happy.
Next question for Valentina. How does it feel to be at such a level when you know that your opponents think their personal best just to compete with you?
For me, it's just like everything what I do, it's because I love to do martial arts. And I don't know, I just, every day when I come to the training, I'm trying to focus to perform myself and to learn something new, to be better. I never stop. And I just, it's my mindset, do everything and be the best. And everyone, I heard a lot, they are saying, okay, we come to the fight, we are here to enjoy the fight, right? But I don't know how you can enjoy the fight, how you really can enjoy when someone hit you in the face, yeah? And I think that if I go inside of the octagon, I here only for the victory, nothing else.
Final question for Black Beast. I need that new number, by the way.
Nah, I don't mess with you.
Oh man, you don't messed up now.
Nah, I got you.
What's going to be your walkout here in Houston? Big Pokey, Paul Wall, Swisher House.
Might come out to my boy Trader True right there.
Hey.
But also, it's been, 22 years since Fat Pat died? So I'll probably come out to Top's Drop, so I don't know yet. We'll see.
John, right here. In one of the commercials, you said something like Dominic Reyes is trying to prove he belongs here, and you as yourself, you won the championship at 23. So I'm curious, at what point did you feel that you belonged here, standing across from these legends?
Yeah, I don't remember saying anything about him. Do you guys have any water? My balls
Yes.
are hot. I had to, dude. I say it to you every time I see you. I got my kids in the front row. Sorry, girls.
It's all good.
I had
But,
to.
I heard that I'm the only athlete here, though.
Say it again.
I'm the only athlete here. That's what
only
Red said.
Is that what he said?
Nah.
I mean, you're a tremendous athlete, man. Aren't you in the running for the most knockouts in heavyweight history?
Yeah. This fight right here.
Houston's own, guys. Houston's own, man.
This fight right here should be the most knockouts.
I'm proud to consider you a buddy, man. That's epic. That's history. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
It's basically, when did you feel you belonged inside the octagon, standing across from these legends?
Honestly, it was after I won my very first fight. Like to go from a small town and to feel like a very average young man, which I am, and which the way I felt. To making it to the UFC was like a dream come true. I realized that people from a small town could do extraordinary things. It was a dream come true. And then to beat one UFC fighter, I feel like it humanized every UFC fighter. And that's when I realized that I can do it. That I was enough to be a person that could be great. And now my beliefs are that we all bleed. If you can beat one UFC fighter, you can beat any UFC fighter. And so it started with my very first fight, man. When I heard, and the winner is Johnny Bones Jones, and I got to raise my hand for the first time, I decided that I would fly and try to never come down.
And then, since the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter, the hashtag #GirlDad was trending across social media. You yourself fall into that category. So I'm curious, what does GirlDad mean to you?
Girl, stand up real quick for me. Guys, these are my daughters right here. They are super shy. You guys can sit down. And their beautiful mother, Jessie, and my mother-in-law, Sheila. So I am a girl dad, and I love it, man. They say that little girls grow up to take care of their dad forever. And I'm surrounded by little girls, and I know that I'm gonna be in good hands for the rest of my life. When I'm old and crazy, I tell them they better stop by and cook me a meal and check on me, make sure I got clean laundry, right? Make sure I got a lot of love. So being a girl dad is awesome. Obviously, I want a son so bad, but these girls are more than plenty. They're going to do extraordinary things with their lives, and I'm just excited to see the way they turn out. I'm a blessed man to have so much love around me.
One final one for both of the champions. John, a lot's been made on your consecutive title defenses in Valentina. You've stated numerous times you want to rack up title defenses. So what is more important, growing as a martial artist, or just winning inside the octagon and continuing that streak?
I think it's growing. It's growing at the end of the day. I feel like, Dominic said something on Instagram, and you can take it two ways. He said being a champion isn't about winning the belt. And it's about the person you become in life, and it's about having love and things like that. And I totally agree with that. The other half of me feels like that's his way of preparing himself for a defeat. But at the end of the day, being a martial artist, what it means to me is being aware that there's so many things we can work on, whether that's in your relationship, whether it's as a father, as an athlete. It just basically means that, there's, I say a black belt is a black belt because they know how much they don't know yet. And I truly stand here as a guy who has so much more to learn about life. So, yeah, you definitely shouldn't, there's people who's lost several times and they'll be champions until the day they die. So it's really not about winning or losing. It's about the journey. It's about self-improvement.
John, it's this little back and forth rivalry, if you will, with Dominic Reyes has been a little bit unexpected, but it's been pretty entertaining as well. Do you remember the moment you were like, I don't like this guy? Like, what was it?
When he mentioned party favorites and that he wanted the belt and not party favorites, I just felt like it was a very immature way to go about things. I mean, it's like you're knocking out everybody, so you obviously have the attention of myself in the UFC. There's no need to bring up my past. It was just a silly way, an immature way, honestly, to get this thing all started off. It didn't help him get the fight. The reason why I chose to give him this opportunity was because he's knocked out everyone, and he's the scariest other guy in the world that I haven't fought yet. So yeah, he got this fight. Well, he started this fight being just completely immature, and now that I've gotten back at him, acknowledging that he has stinky breath. That's factual. You ask his camp, ask his. It's factual. Ask Dana White. And then just calling him on his stuff, like saying he's the best Apple Valley athlete and how he's considered himself the best athlete that I've ever faced. I mean, that's insulting to everyone I've ever faced. What does that even mean? How are we all not athletes? You know what I mean? Like, just to make the UFC roster, you have to be an extraordinary athlete. So yeah, the moment I realized that this guy was a little bit of a clown was when he won his fight and he mentioned party favorites right away. It was just immature.
Did you ever think you'd find yourself in a position to be calling somebody immature?
No. No, quite frankly, no. And I'm probably still not in a position to be calling anybody else immature, but I'm a work in progress, I guess.
Nice. I know you and your team are meticulous.
That was a little jab.
That was fun. It's fun.
Ryan always doing that.
Somebody boo this man. Thank you, guys. I love you guys.
Hey, John, I know that you and your team are meticulous about breaking people down, game plans, that sort of thing. So your personal dislike for him aside, anything as an athlete you look at and say, like, this guy's got something?
Yeah, he does, man. He has some power. He has power. We can't deny that. I've seen him kick people in the head and knock them out. I've seen him drop people with that left, and you gotta respect it. At the end of the day, I can sit in front of you guys and act like I got it all in the bag, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's gonna happen out there. Anything can happen out there, so I just gotta respect him tremendously, which I have. We've done everything possible that we can do to be strong mentally, spiritually, physically for this fight, and yeah, he's a worthy opponent. This fight is definitely worth tuning into. Anytime you get a guy with the type of knockout power he has, it's worth tuning into.
Last thing for me, John.
He does tickle my pickle. This is true.
Last thing for me, John. I mean, you're saying, hey, listen, you'll do whatever the fans want to see. But let me ask you. I mean, you've got all these records, and people call you the greatest of all time. I mean, what do you want to accomplish before you call it a day, before you hang it up? I mean, what is on the list that you want to check off before you're done?
Honestly, I don't think it has anything to do with fighting anymore. I wanna get things together, like in a way where my daughters can be extremely proud of me. when I walk away from this. You know, I wanna use some of my influence to help people, to start giving back. You know, I've lived selfishly for a long time, and as a fighter, fighting at this level especially, you have to be selfish. But I'm starting to get to a place where I'm realizing that this platform is way more about championship belts, way more about rubies on your belts. Yeah, it's about, you know, what are you doing for somebody else? You know, are you being an example? Are you being a role model? Are you giving back? Are you encouraging people? And I'm starting to really transition into that type of person. So that's what I want more than another title. That's what I want more than the heavyweight title, is to walk away and people say, you know, this guy came, saw, and conquered, and he made this world somewhat better. That's what I really want.
John, right here, just to piggyback off what you just said there, I mean, how important is it to have your girls here and, you know, see you setting this type of example? And at what point was there maybe a change in mentality to know that, you know, you're a role model, people look up to you, and that you need to represent yourself in the best possible way?
Yeah, you know, just all the time that I've spent, you know, in suspension and not being respected because of some of my behaviors, I think that was really my wake-up call. And you know, potential and talent's the worst thing to waste. When you found your passion, it's the worst thing to waste. And I think it's very important for my daughters to be here, to see their dad at work. I never let them come see my fights. The Alexander Gustafsson fight taught me that maybe they shouldn't be in attendance. But things like this are things that they can be a part of, and I think it's really empowering for them and everybody here to know that, you know, all three of us up here are very, very average people from small towns who are, I mean, Derrick especially, you know, like he's from here, you know, and he's one of you guys, and if he can be up here making his dreams come true, I mean, why can't you guys, you know? So that's the motivation.
And of course, you've had your little back and forth with Dominic and stuff, but does that maturity also play into the fact that you can put that stuff aside and, you know, give him the opportunity because you think he's the top contender? And, you know, I know Corey Anderson had the little thing at the Fitness Expo in New Jersey and stuff, but it's part of that maturity. You know, you can put all the stuff to the side and take on the biggest challenge because you know that's what, you know, is best for your career.
It's the right thing to do. It's what the fans want to see. They want to see me. If I'm not going to go heavyweight, I got to fight the guy that everyone thinks can win, and I think he's the next guy that people think can win. Everyone was really excited about Johnny Walker for a while, and he got derailed by Corey Anderson. But Corey Anderson, he doesn't really finish people. You know what I mean? He did finish Johnny, but he's not a finisher. And I think fighting me for 5 rounds, you know, you saw what happened to DC, you know, the guy whose slogan was "Embrace the grind." You know, I outgrinded him. So I'm not afraid of a guy that's going to try to outwork me. It's more intimidating to fight a guy that can knock your lights out. And so I'm giving the fans what they want is to see me in a dangerous spot. And what was your question? What was the other question?
No, that was basically
that was it.
Answer. And,
yeah, and emotion aside, you know, I'm very aware through all these years of fighting some of the most dangerous guys and some of the best talkers like Rampage Jackson and these guys that are gonna really get under your skin, Rashad Evans. I know that emotion won't do anything for me on Saturday night. So, like I said, I didn't take this fight because he insulted me. He can say anything about me that he wants. I can say anything about him that I want. And at the end of the day, it won't make a difference on Saturday night. It's going to be who has their head together, who's more prepared mentally, physically, to get the job done. And I believe that's me and our team.
And last thing for me, we'll see what happens with the heavyweight stuff, but there is, you know, a very important light heavyweight fight just next week in New Mexico, you know, not far from Albuquerque. Will you be going to watch Corey and Jan fight, you know, in person?
I think I may be taking my family on a little vacation, to be honest with you. If we're in town, then more than likely I'll go, but that, you know, I can watch it on TV and still get a lot out of it.
Any idea who you think wins?
I think Corey will win. I think he's a little bit more versatile, and he appears to have like this chip on his shoulder that I want to chew up.
Thank you. Love the sweater, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't going to wear it, but my other shirt got all ruined, and I'm like, okay, forget it. So I feel like a bumblebee up here. But anyways.
Johnny Bones, you've beat a lot of legends in this sport to date. Who's been your toughest opponent so far from a physical standpoint?
I would have to say between Alexander Gustafsson and Thiago Santos. They both pushed me tremendously.
One of your idols is Muhammad Ali. If he was still alive today, what would you ask him in a conversation?
How can a man be so brave? He was so brave. He stood up for so much. You know, he He was confident in a time that it was dangerous to be too confident. You know, he said no to our government about, you know, going to war. He was willing to put his freedom on the line to stand for what he believed in. And just so brave, you know, so brave. I aspire to be that type of man and stand by my beliefs in the same way.
Valentina, you and your sister Antonina have some of the best open workouts, some electrifying moves, great leg dexterity. The last time you were fighting in Chicago, put on a show. Do you like this open panel question format better than the open workouts?
It's different. It's very different. Here I'm sitting, not using much energy, and there I have to work, sweat. I would say I enjoy both. But of course I would love to share like a scenario with my sister and to let people know a little bit more about Muay Thai Sisters power workout.
Lastly, Black Beast, underneath that hoodie, you look good. Your diet's on point. What took you so long to discover Whole Foods?
Shit, I heard they had chicken feet there, so I had to go check it out.
All right, is that it from the media? All right, let us hear it once more, folks. The champions, Johnny Bones Jones, Valentina Shevchenko, and Houston's finest, the Black Beast, Derrick Lewis. The athletes will congregate.